Yo. Back again. Sunday, July the 11th. Month 4 of Introvert Heaven. I know they'd be like, man, this dude just make videos what he want. Like, I see people on YouTube, they make videos like every 3 days. God bless them. I got a life. I be doing other stuff. I'm sorry. But anyway, not saying that they don't have a life. They probably just enjoy doing this. So I'm not trying to put no shots at anybody. I'm not trying to take it like that. I just don't see how you can make a video every 2 or 3 days on YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm not that interested in, the format. But yeah, man, July the 11th, 2000, the year of our Lord, 2020. About month 4 of Introvert Heaven. Like I say once again, God bless all the people that are sick or have lost loved ones or lost jobs or whatever. But honestly, this is the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. I always say guys in prison, Malcolm X is like my idol. And I always see these guys, they do 10 years, 20 years in prison, and they just have all the time in the world to read and write and just reflect and work out. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm going to lift this evening, but just having time all day to do what you want to do is beautiful, I wish I could, if I could win like the lottery or even just be financially free to where I didn't have to go to work 8 hours a day, man. I think I would just exercise and read and write. Like, that's all I would do. So, maybe you guys can donate, me about $10 million. I could live off that. I'll go drive Uber, if I get bored. But this is why we're here. This book, if you get a chance to read this one, I'm not going to review this one right now. I'm probably going to do it later on this week. Awesome book. Oprah's book. Read it. But I want to talk about this book, which will probably be, this is a classic, man. They're going to study this book in school. This book is like that W.E.B. Du Bois, The Souls of Black Folks, which everybody should have read by now or should be put on your to be read list if you haven't. But these are one of those books, they'll be talking about this for years. Like, this guy's children will be making money off of this book, discussing this book. So I'm going to go from chapter to chapter. And today, I'm just going to talk about the introduction because the introduction is packed. The author is Ibram X. Kendi. I think he was born with a different name. You could Google it, but the man wants to be called Ibram X. Kendi, and he should have that right. Man, he starts off talking about himself in high school giving a speech. The Prince William County Martin Luther King Jr. Oratorical Contest, January 17, 2000. And he talks about his parents coming and other people coming. But the thing that got to me was he talks about the contents of the speech. And he talks about how his speech was basically anti-black. It was saying that, oh, I want to check if it's recording, I'm sorry. How, black people need to shape up, black young people need to shape up, blah, 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 get their heads out of together, stuff that I heard all my life, and that most people would, at that time, would agree, like he goes from a point of view where he's Martin Luther King and he's still alive. Basically, if you saw that Boondocks episode, and he talks about it, but then he says something remarkable that I didn't see coming. He talked about how that was anti-black, and he said some profound stuff. He has some profound stuff, Even now, I wonder if it was my poor sense of self that first generated my poor sense of my people, or was it my poor sense of my people that inflamed the poor sense of myself? Racist ideas make people of color think less of themselves, which makes them more vulnerable to racist ideas. Racist ideas make white people think more of themselves, which further attracts them to racist ideas. I thought I was a subpar student and was bombarded by messages from black people, white people, the media that told me that the reason was rooted in my race, which made me discouraged and less motivated as a student. I think most black people go through this, even especially young black men, being an introvert and a rebel that I was. I just took it as I excelled in school and tried to do my best, graduated from college in order to fight that system, fight those people that say that. But it's very sad that many people believe that, even to this day. And after this video, they still will. And the sad part is that it's mostly black people that feel they're inferior. Now, people don't want to hear that, see? And people don't want to hear that, and they just want to play it off. Oh, you're crazy. Not me. But we're talking about as a whole. Let's read some more. He says, I did not say our youth's mind are in captivity to racist ideas, as I would say now. They think it's okay to be those who are most feared in our society. I said, as if it was their fault they were so feared. I kept shooting out unproven and disproven racist ideas about all the things wrong with black youth. Ironically, on the day when all the things right about black youth were on display. And it's sad because he was being cheered on. Nobody said, wait. That's not everybody. That's not even most. That's a very small selection. And most white people and black people need to hear this. And what they say, the creaky wheel gets the most grease. And it just perpetuates itself because you give the criminals and you give these people all the attention. So therefore, when a kid wants attention from society, he goes out there because he feels like he'll be a nobody. Now, that's all our fault. That's all our fault. That's the consumers for consuming it. That's the producers for producing it. So we all should be canceled. Let's cancel ourselves. No, we want to do that because we're good. Those other people are bad, but we're good. So, and he also goes on to talk about denial. The people that I'm not racist. It's like if you see a woman and she was being raped or assaulted, and okay, I ain't did her nothing, but you didn't help her. See, he says an anti-racist is not a person that's just neutral. Anti-racist is a person that fights racism. But when you do that, you get ignored or you get called crazy like y'all do me. But we continue on. So he says, I used to be racist most of the time. I am changing because being a racist and an anti-racist is not a fixed identity. It's fluid. For in one area, I could be racist. In another area, I could be another area, I can be an anti-racist. And I'm going a little ahead because I read a little further on. He talks about that racial hierarchy. When you make a racial hierarchy, black is whack, light is good. I don't even know it because I'm not into that. But when you make those, and most people that make that racial hierarchy, they usually put themselves on top, unless you're just a self-defeated person, like many of us are, and we put other people on top of us. How sick is that? But he says, I no longer believe a black person cannot be racist, and I am no longer policing my every action around an imagined white or black judge, trying to convince white people of my equal humanity or trying to convince black people I am representing the race well. Or in my layman terms, We'll go to chapter 1 later. Y'all have a good